Welcome to another episode of the Layer 8 podcast. Today, we don't have any guests for you. All we have today is news. But one of the new things that we have today is this podcast is not only coming out in the various audio formats, but it's also on YouTube. So if you want to check it out on YouTube, you can do that as well on our own conference YouTube channel. I believe that is YouTube slash what do they put you in there or something like that with Layer 8 conference. So you can find the Layer 8 conference on YouTube as well. So like I said, we got a whole bunch of great news for you today. I won't bury the lead. I will let you know right off the bat. Layer 8 conference is coming back. Yes, the fifth ever Layer 8 conference is going to be happening again. It's happened twice in person in the past. In 2018 and 2019, we had that in Rhode Island. And then we know what happened in 2020. The whole world blew up, so we went virtual. We tried it again in 2021, went virtual. People got tired of that. People didn't want virtual conferences anymore. So we kind of took a little bit of a step back. Now we are going to be back. We are going to be in person. And as you can kind of see right over my shoulder up here for the people online, that is going to be Saturday, June 14th, 2025. But are we returning to Rhode Island? No, we are going. That's right, Boston, Massachusetts. So anybody that's ever wanted to attend the Layer 8 conference, here is your chance yet again, June 14th, Saturday, 2025 in Boston. Yes, so we will be back. If you're unfamiliar with the conference, who we are the first ever conference that's solely focused on open source intelligence and social engineering topics. That's all we talk about, OSINT and social engineering. So that is our main focus. Where are we going to be? We are going to be right in downtown Boston on Commonwealth Avenue at the George Sherman Union Building. It's on the campus of Boston University. So if you're familiar with Boston, you'll probably have a little bit of an idea of where that is. Another great thing, anybody that's ever experienced Layer 8 before understands that we keep our tickets very affordable. So our tickets are only $50 each. It's a great holiday gift. We get the holidays coming up. Get them as a gift for yourself, for others, for as many people as you want. $50. And as my friend Dimitri likes to say, it even includes lunch. Where you get those tickets, layer8con.eventbrite.com. There's a link to it on our website as well at layer8conference.com, but you can get the tickets at layer8con.eventbrite.com. All right, so let's get into some of the information about the conference as well. Why should you attend? Well, we have all seen a lot of the statistics on social engineering. We see the breaches. We see that so many of these attacks start with some phase of social engineering. We see that phishing is a problem. We know that the phone calls, or like we sometimes call it, vishing, can be a problem. We're even sometimes now seeing smishing or SMS phishing as a problem. These things are growing. We are seeing that the Verizon DBIR is showing that social engineering is not going away. So how can you learn more about it? You can come to the Layer 8 conference. We have people who do these tests. We have people that do this education. We are definitely focused on helping you to better defend against these social engineering attacks. We are also focused on OSINT. OSINT is an exploding topic. It's an exploding field. I even just saw on LinkedIn that there were hundreds of new OSINT jobs available. If this is a field that you want to get into, Layer 8 conference is the place that you'll want to be because it is a great place for the human networking aspect. We keep our conference small, intentionally small, so people can all interact, people can get to know each other. And as you come around the conference and you get to know people, by the end of the day, you will have made some new friends. So who can attend the conference? Anybody. I know we always like to say anybody can attend, but we really have in the past had anybody and everybody, whether you are somebody that is just interested, whether you are somebody that doesn't know anything about OSINT or social engineering yet, but you're interested in it, sure, show up. If you're an expert, if you're one of the world's most renowned people on social engineering or OSINT, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you give a presentation. We'd love to have you meet people, but we love to have all types of people attend. And like I said, ticket prices are very affordable at only $50, so that we do make it so that just about anybody can attend. Another reason, are you somebody that needs CPEs, continuing professional education credits? We'll give you those as well. Sure, you show up for the day, we will give you that certificate as well. So students, experts in the field, anybody else that has an interest, We love to have you at the Social Engineering and OSINT conference, Layer 8 conference happening in Boston. All right, a couple other really exciting announcements for this. We already know who our keynote speakers are, and I'm super excited to announce to you who they are going to be. We're going to have two keynote speakers. We always have two tracks at our conference. We have a social engineering track and we have an OSINT track. So for each track, we also have a keynote speaker. Those two keynote speakers, we have Aleth Dennis and Ray Baker. These are two incredible women in the field. So if you aren't overly familiar with them, I would say go look them up. But Aleth is a red teamer working with Bishop Fox. She has been featured on such international news outlets like the Wall Street Journal, Dark Reading, The Register. Aleth is also the one who is super famous for having earned a coveted black badge at DEF CON by winning the social engineering capture the flag competition. But not only that, she went up on stage and received her black badge with her newborn baby in her arms. So if you remember seeing somebody up on stage with a baby receiving the black badge, that was Aleth. She will be there and she will be one of our keynote speakers. The other one, Ray Baker. Ray is amazing with where she has come from. She's been a rocket ship in the world of OSINT. Ray has written one of the go-to books in the world of OSINT. The book that she recently put out in the last year was called Deep Dive, Exploring the Real World Value of Open Source Intelligence. She's also one of the world's foremost experts on maritime intelligence. She's been a speaker at some other major conferences, including DEF CON and ShmooCon. She is on the board of Osmosis and is one of the co-founders of Case Investigations. So if you've ever wanted to hear from Aleth Dennis or Ray Baker or meet them or interact with them, they will be at Layer 8 Conference as our keynote speakers. All right. Speaking of speakers, some people want to be speakers. Sometimes people ask, do you need speakers for the conference? And of course we do. We always need speakers. So we have what we call our call for presenters, or our CFP. That will open on January 1st. We are going to offer either 25-minute or 50-minute speaking slots. Now, as I have said, we focus on open source intelligence and social engineering. So those are the types of topics that we are looking to select. If your speaking topic doesn't really fit one of those, it's probably not going to get selected. Sometimes people also ask, what type of presentations do you want? What are you looking for? Well, if you look at layer8conference.com, we have a whole page that also explains really what we're looking for. But in a nutshell, I can tell you that what is seen most highly is going to be new, original research. So if you have given this presentation before and it's available on YouTube at other conferences, I'm not telling you that it's going to be a definite no, but it's not going to be seen quite as highly as some other newer research. So if you have some new stuff that you want to share with us, let's see it. Let's put that up there as well. We also don't put any weight on who the speaker is. We love first-time speakers. We love new speakers, as well as our veterans, people who have done lots of presentations before. Really, what we care about is the content of what you're willing to share with the audience. That's what we're looking for. And if you're somebody who's a little bit nervous about speaking but wants to do it, we can offer mentoring. If you need somebody that can help you to walk through how to give a presentation or how to put it all together, we can do that for you as well. I also want everybody to know we do not sell speaking slots. There are some conferences where you can buy a sponsorship, and that also includes speaking slots. We don't do that. That's not available. You may see at times where some of the speakers' company is also there, but those are two completely different departments. It makes perfect sense for a company to say, I want to be a sponsor. I want to have a table in the vendor area of a conference where one of our people is speaking. It makes perfect sense. But those two parts do not go together. So I just want you to know a little bit about the CFP, the call for presentations, which will open up on January 1st. And that will be available. So also speaking of the vendor area, we are taking sponsors. We have a sponsorship kit that is also available at the layer8conference.com. Make that available. And one of the other things with us and that we try to keep everything very affordable. We are a 501c3 nonprofit entity in the United States. So we try to keep everything affordable. We don't make any money off of this. Every dollar that comes in, either from the tickets or from the sponsorship fees, all goes back into the conference and making the conference bigger and better and having all kinds of fun things available for everybody. So that is what we're going to have. We have lots of different levels of sponsorships that we would love to have you there and to work with us on that. So, what other types of fun things are going to be at the conference? Well, I mentioned that we're going to have the 2 tracks. We have 2 tracks that are on that open source intelligence, OSINT, as well as social engineering. You can interact with all the people at the conference. And you can also interact with all of the vendors. One other thing that I forgot to mention with the vendors is we also do not sell your information to the vendors. So if the vendors get your information, that's completely up to you and whether you want to give that to them. But I've been asked multiple times whether I will make that list of attendees available, and that answer is always no. That's another reason that we keep it reasonably priced, affordable for them, because we don't give them that either. Really, what they are getting is the ability to interact with all the attendees and get the word out about their products and anything else that they want to do with that, as well as to support our mission. All right, so we got all that and some other fun things. Have you ever wanted to learn how to pick a lock? Well, we got our friend Max Power from the open organization of lock pickers, or Tool, going to be there. He's going to have a lock pick village, so he is great. Max is awesome about teaching people how to pick locks. A bunch of years ago at one of the Layer 8 conferences, I brought my own daughter to the conference, and she learned how to pick multiple locks as well. She sat there, learned how to do it, and it's a whole lot of fun. That feeling the first time that you get your hands on the lock and you put the different tools inside and you feel that lock pop, it's just amazing. And then you get to work your way up from there. Some of the other things that we're looking to have. I am working on building a social engineering capture the flag competition. We've heard about these before. You've seen them at other conferences where you go into a booth and you make phone calls. Nothing like that. We're not going to have a booth. We're not going to make phone calls. It's really going to be much wider than that. In my mind, the going to a booth thing, you're doing vishing, you're doing phone calls. That's one type of social engineering. I've always wanted to have a competition where there's all types of social engineering involved, as well as the OSINT. So I'm really working on putting something together that will be available for people to engage in, to have a competition in. At the very first Layer 8 conference, we had one that was largely OSINT based, but we are going to be building another one for this. I am also looking for an organization that will work with us to put together their own OSINT capture the flag competition, or anything else that's going to be beneficial in the OSINT world. We'd love to have that. Another idea that I want to have at the conference is a sticker swap. In the past, we have offered more than 20 different stickers from various organizations and places that we just give out to our attendees. I want to do that again. So if you are somebody that has stickers and you want others to put those wherever, we can do that. I like the idea of a sticker wall, so we can have all of those up. I know people love to have the stickers, so let's have a sticker swap. Other fun things to do. Well, it's Boston, so we know there's lots of fun things to do in Boston. The conference itself is only going to be about a half mile from Fenway Park. We're going to be close to all different locations in there as well. How do you get there? It's Boston. So people have a pretty good idea of how to get to Boston on the East Coast. You can fly in. Logan Airport is only a short car ride from the actual conference area. There's also public transportation in Boston. It's the MBTA, or we just call it the T. There's subways, there's buses, there's commuter rails, there's all different kinds of ways. And we're putting all of this information on our site as well on how you can get there. In short, there is a subway stop right outside of our venue, which is going to be the Green Line, the Greens B. So there's a B, C, D, and E line on green. And it is going to be, which stop is it? Boston University Central is the name of the stop. So all of this information will be on our site, which is right there. So lastly, people often ask about a room block. Is there going to be a room block available? No. There's no housing. There's no hotel available. However, Boston University is making their dorm rooms available for nightly rental. So for only $118 per night, you can get your own room. You don't have to share with anybody. Get your own locked room on the campus, walking distance from the conference. So that is going to be available as well. So That's all the information. Like I said, it's all available at Layer 8 Conference. You can also check us out on various social media at Layer 8 Con. You can find us there. So what else are you waiting for? Tickets are available now. You can find those at layer8con.eventbrite.com. You can find the link at layer8conference.com. $50. Buy one, buy lots, buy them for all your friends. And we can't wait until June 14th. Boston, we'll see you there.